Oh no. What happened? Oh no, how terrible. That's just awful. How terrible. Oh no. Yes!
And here we go.
Marvel has ended its cinematic run. Marvel has pulled it from movie theaters and are no longer reporting on it. And oh my God, have the fans read over this. Our good friend Master of the TDS put together a nice little palette of people losing their minds over this. So we're going to cover some of this and take a look at what they've had to say and how stupid they are, pretty much. So Chell's here.
The only MCU movie to come out at the end of a strike, having its promo season heavily impacted, fixed it for you.
So the strike only restricted the actors from doing interviews, didn't restrict commercials, which is where a majority of people see stuff. Unless you watch daytime television and late night TV, you're not going to see it. Tiffany here.
The way everyone conveniently leaves out the fact that a majority of the MCU's ass wipers purposefully chose not to see this movie is comical.
Well, Tiffany, let's make a movie people want to see. Let's start there. And let's not forget the abysmal films that came before it, which drives down desire to see movies. And actually, several of you call out Ant-Man and Thor. I'm glad you did. But you should understand that it has a trickle-down effect that people stop caring when you deliver bad movies. Guwop here.
The movie was actually good. The dweebs just don't want to watch an all-woman cast hero movies. They don't even give them a chance.
Well, original Charlie's Angels with Cameron Diaz did really, really well. Then the second one where they said white male men don't need to show up and watch this, and then they were like, why aren't white male men watching this movie? Kind of answered its own question. I think a lot of people are just tired of politics. Normal people. I mean, since 2016, we've had nothing but politics shoved down our throat in every single thing. People don't want to see that. DeGinge here.
A good MCU movie played by misogynists and crybabies. Women can be heroes. Women can be leads. Women can be successful. Your delicate ass feeling don't change that.
Well, I think it changed the fact that this movie sucked and its box office sucked. We all love our Ripleys. We love our Princess Leias and characters like that. We just don't like Captain Marvel. Let that sink in. Moss here.
The Marvels is ending its run as the lowest grossing MCU film in history due to the 2023 SAG-AFTRA, which restricted actors from promoting films and the BDS protests. Boycotts of Disney and Marvel. There are primary reasons for this.
Well, a lot of people are just tired of Disney and Marvel shit. You need to get over that. You are a select few at this point. And doesn't it feel good to be that select few? Like the proud, God's chosen few? God. I remember what it was like when things weren't on my side either. We got Joseph Reed here with his elegant words.
I know you mutta-tucking trolls are happy about that news. Most likely the best joy you had since touching a department store mannequin. I don't care. It was still a fun film about 3 kick-ass women.
Well, tell your mom to call me bud, because I've touched more than a mannequin. And yes, I actually took joy in this, because this is what's called trickle-down economics. You make shit, you get shit, sir. We got the classic 420.
It's going to be a cult classic. Just wait.
No, it's not. No, it is not. Unless Marvel makes something really bad, then it might be a cult classic. And we have Mr. Knoll here.
Almost like there's a boycott. It got no marketing, and the Marvel's fans are incredibly racist and misogynistic.
It got tons of marketing. There was an 8-hour cat stream on Marvel Entertainment's website. In case you didn't see that stuff, you know, they marketed the hell out of this, and they spent a ton of money doing it, which made it even worse loss than what it appears to be. And then we have Mr. Pew Pew, a Pikachu face, hiding behind a anime character.
Honestly unfair. I know a majority of people didn't even try giving it a chance because they either had this vendetta against another movie led by women or because they want to be weird and not like Brie. The excuse of being too woke is redundant and makes zero sense.
Well, the movie's not woke because they cut it all out. That's why the movie doesn't make sense. They were already learning that they were getting their ass handed to them. So they cut all the woke out, which is why there's such big plot holes and gaps in it. Not liking Brie. Brie did that to herself. Brie has been trying to repair her image by not talking shit and running around at the mouth. So we'll go from there. And now we have Uncle Johnny's sewing machine.
The women-hating man-children who started the hate train and the group-think folks who couldn't watch the movie for themselves are to blame.
I watched this movie. It was shit. It wasn't as bad as Mom or Ant-Man or Love and Blunder, but it was still shit. Lila C, number 7, anime avatar.
Elementals ran for 3 months. This is so fucking unfair. Fuck you, MCU. Holy shit, what the fuck?
I love how verbally spectacular they are. How large their dictionary is and their vernacular. Oh, I feel so stupid now. Then we have Auntie with a blurred image, not a real face.
It's the highest grossing film for a black female director, so let's celebrate that.
Yay! She also left during post-production to go start on the film because she knew it was shit. We got Thick Fillet with an 8-bit face.
In my opinion, this is because how hated the first Captain Marvel was, not based on how good or bad this movie is.
Well, you know, if you have a movie that's hated, even though it made $1 billion because it was sandwiched between 2 blockbusters, you probably shouldn't have made a second one. Makes sense. I mean, am I wrong? And we got Mo with Jupiter in her title with a screenshot from a TV show.
Maybe if Marvel promoted movies with female leads more.
No, Marvel is not female. It's mostly male. There's some female fans, but a majority of people who are into comics are boys. You know, that little thing hanging down between their legs? So, turn it into a girl brand doesn't work. It didn't work for Star Wars. Now, if you had good female leads, can be done, but these are not good female leads. Now we have boxes and bubbles.
I mean, it was going to happen, and from watching She-Hulk, it seemed that Disney knew a lot of fragile men would react to some movies with women in them, and played into it. I hope they're similarly unsurprised here and keep making fun-ass movies despite the crybabies.
Well, they're not going to make movies that are not going to make money, and you have to remember there's more men on this planet than there are women. So you might want to cater to the general populace and not your little group. I'm sorry, boxes and bubbles. You are wrong. I'm not going to pronounce this guy's name.
It's not a bad movie. It sucks that some nerds couldn't get over their racist incel ways to recognize a decent movie.
I have taste. I'm sorry you don't, and you just consume the next thing. And we have Mark Sama here, who actually has a photo.
Y'all let this flop because Twitter told you.
Well, you know, Twitter really isn't as big as you think it is. You know, there was only 4.5 million people that watched this movie. I'm sure there's more on Facebook and TikTok and Instagram than 4.5 million people. Might want to think about that. Here we go. We got Lyra Lion.
Jesus, people hate women. Better movie than probably half of the MCU movies that came before it. There is no actual reason this should have done worse than especially Ant-Man Quantumania and Thor Love and Thunder. Like, are you fucking with me right now?
Well, you went and watched those movies. A lot of people went and watched those movies, and they got a bad taste in their mouth. And that's why Marvel's films have been dropping down. The only reason Guardians of the Galaxy 3 did decently was because of word of mouth. And this film did not have enough clout and not good enough to get the word of mouth. See the difference here? Pretty good movie, shitty movie. This is what you get. SOS.
These can choke because this was one of the most entertaining Marvel movies I've seen in a while.
Well, evidently you watch Guardians of the Galaxy 3. I can maybe give it to you for Love and Thunder. But here's the thing. Half of you guys are on here complaining you didn't go see the movie. Half of you guys didn't finish watching WandaVision to see Monica Rambeau. Half of you guys didn't finish Miss Marvel. We've got the stats. Then we got Freckles here in her lime green bathing suit.
I will never forgive the fandom for the way she treated these characters in their stories.
Really? Write a good story. Make good characters. We'll be right there. We got Beyonce.
Which is bullshit because this movie was actually really good, but y'all let social media incels trick y'all into thinking it was trash.
No, I watched the movie. It was trash. It wasn't as bad as some films, but it was still a bad movie. You had several movies before it that should have got this box office and didn't because consumers woke up. We have Elaine Shercliffe here.
Maybe if it wasn't released during a strike and people could have promoted the movie paired with Marvel fatigue and not keeping it in some theaters long, it would have done better.
That had pretty widespread release. Dune dropped out, so they got IMAX. There was plenty of opportunity to see this movie. No one cares about Captain Marvel, and no one has cared about Marvel for a little bit. You guys are just waking up and stop being consumers. It's the best thing until the next thing ever. And we got Mercedes Jones here.
It's just general misogyny combined with superhero fatigue before you incels go on celebrating.
No. Write a good superhero movie, and I will go watch it. I will go watch it 2 or 3 times. I'm getting ready to go see Godzilla -1 for the second time. We got Fat Bottom Girl here. Says,
whiny YouTube nerd boys.
You know, there are people that don't know that this conversation is being had on YouTube. They think it's a bunch of how-to videos, and they don't live in YouTube or on social media. These are probably a majority of the customers that just said, nah, I'm not checking that out. Emrod, the greatest here.
No one is taking responsibility for this movie's failure. The fans are disloyal, lazy bums, anti-woke reviewing, bombing trolls. And I like the misspelling here. The SAG-WAG strikes, blah, blah, blah.
It's the WGA, you mental midget. At least know what you're talking about if you're going to blame something. That is the problem here. Everyone's an expert on the internet. Read the article, all of it. Compile it with a second article, maybe a third, and then you might have the truth. You can't even spell WGA correctly, so I'm supposed to take you seriously? Okay. I feel sorry for the wag. Heart to car!
This was a really good movie, but the reality is that theaters are dying and no one is exactly paying to watch this one to be on D+ eventually.
I agree with you. I think the worst thing Disney ever did was make D+, the streaming platform that killed their blockbusters in a way. You know what? The worse a movie does, the faster it goes to streaming, so why go watch it at all? Shaolin Shika.
Wasn't even a bad movie, nerds. Just hate women.
I'm dyslexic and you need some pronunciation there. By the way, and nerds don't hate women. Actually, most nerds covet women. You should probably check into that. Alexandria Love.
Let's all try to remember that this was the only MCU movie that did not receive any marketing due to historic Hollywood double strike. This movie was cool and fun and not even close to the worst thing Marvel has put out. Don't DM me, neckbeards. Argue with the wall.
Well, I'm going to argue with my camera. Is that okay with you? Are you fine with that? I'm going to argue with my camera. First of all, calling people neckbeards and telling people to argue with the wall gets no one to listen to your comment. Now, it was during a historic double strike. It still got marketing. There were commercials on Twitter, Facebook, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, television. It still got marketing. It did not get talk show coverage, which who gives a shit about a talk show? Maybe you do. I don't. A lot of people don't. There's a lot of people who don't watch talk shows. They don't care. Half the people I know didn't even know this movie was coming out because they didn't care about Marvel. They were already done with it. You don't understand that. You guys want to blame everything else instead of admitting you have bad taste. It's fine. I've got a friend that's got bad taste. If he recommends a restaurant, you don't go to it. Okay? I mean, plain and simple. Some people have bad taste. It's okay. Listen to people with good taste. Now we have Riz God.
There's no way. I'd say give it some time to be out. But if it's really the case, then chalk it up to the incels winning again and keep it moving.
So Riz, why are you going to keep a movie in a movie theater that was making like $300 a day when you could be putting a movie in there that's making $1,000 a day? You obviously don't know how the economy works or how to make money. Get bent. I love reading this stuff, and I'm glad Master puts this together. I usually get some really good chuckles out of it. It's just the fact that people are so blindsided to life, like they don't know how to accept the truth or that something they like failed. Should probably try sports. You know, when your favorite team doesn't win, I think a lot of that gets taught to you that way. Like, not everybody wins all the time. But that's what I got, guys. I wanted to go over this because I laughed as soon as I seen this post. I've been wanting to make a video on it, so I figured I would. But you guys, drop a comment down below. Let me know what you think. If you think the Marvels was the greatest thing in the world, you can go ahead. I'm going to laugh. But yeah, drop a like, sub, do what you got to do. Have a good one. I'm Wookie Be Bad.
Chewie, is that you?